Charlie, big game done. Big game pa. And of course, so at Stamford Bridge, obviously, big Chelsea first London derby of the season. Game and you name say a bedding. It was never going to be easy. And of course, that game is done. Of course, first things first, Chelsea and Crystal Palace 1-1 inside game, Crystal Palace about my third London derby. They played against West Ham. I think last week they played against another London team before Chelsea. And my kind of several times there, London teams always will have it tough in English Premier League because London and Kwan, you have about 8 different teams. If you add the Midland teams, maybe say Aston Villa, it's always going to be difficult to play against yourselves because you play a lot of London derbies and it's a game that served us some nice stuff or game in the stuff. Chelsea started game, they went into the game to try and go and control the game. They went into the game in a 4-3-3, sending Enzo Maresca bono. We knew say Osha Crystal Palace at throughout last season. Another team also born a ball, they've been very well. In fact, from the tail end of last season, Oliver Glasner by it was only Arsenal and Man City and Chelsea been more points in that time in the Premier League than Oliver Glasner Premier League side. So we all knew it was going to be a difficult side. Although some of the first 2 games in the English Premier League was going to be tough. This is the London derby for Crystal Palace. They have not won at Stamford Bridge, I think, for a long time. And then last time I gave the ending a draw to send it was in 1995. It's maybe not baby a natural situation. But I think that this is a game that went down to a few details in T and Chelsea and Timmy winning. I have a Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel now. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. Make sure saying the notification turn and also you do turn on, you did choose all. Thank you very much to everybody. So you've been choosing this channel and you've been sticking to all the analysis I was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Strange game of 2 halves. That's how I titled this one. Strange game of 2 halves. Chelsea echo game win. You go into this game and then you look at how you can manage a game BC because inside Crystal Palace is difficult. In fact, one of the first things that Chelsea wanted to do, and they said, game BC Crystal Palace, they play in a 3-back system. One American centre back, former Chelsea Academy player Mark Gay, and Nathaniel Klein as the back 3. Now, on some back 3, they had Terry Mitchell as a fullback, and then they have Munoz also as a fullback. Now, in between those 2 fullbacks, they had 2 sitting DMs. One is Adam Watson, and Brantia, your friend Hughes. Hughes was supposed to do the job without the ball, win the ball back for Crystal Palace. Then Adam Watson will do the job in terms of the ball progression and the controlling of the game in general. Then up top, we have Brantia friend Eberechi Eze and Jean-Philippe Mateta leading the lines for team friend Crystal Palace. So, first off, no BNM said if you are playing against a 3-backer, they are going to press in the middle of the pack with a 3-5-2 sometimes, or sometimes they will fall into a 2-3-5 with a back. So they will make sure they will match Chelsea's 5 at the back, and they will match Chelsea's fullbacks. Attackers 5 in the back, so they can win it. So, Osha game against Crystal Palace. One, the first thing I said in a pre-match analysis, and he said Chelsea should go into this game with somewhat of a diamond. Chelsea will hold up the game. They will play in a diamond shape. Caicedo will sit at the base, then they will play around Crystal Palace for pressure. Now, Enzo Maresca realized something in that game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. So he didn't play Caicedo as in the first line because now Crystal Palace will press it with a 3 Chelsea front 3, normal press it with our 3, Daichi Kamada, Jean-Philippe Mateta, and Eberechi Eze. So what he now did was that because he would be targeted, Moise Caicedo will be targeted by Hughes. Anybody can turn the ball over until he pushed Moise Caicedo to go and play as part of the back 4. Into Chelsea game back 4 now. Never I call Moise Caicedo. Then Wesley Fofana will play as a fullback. Marco Correa will play on the other side as a fullback. Malo Gusto will come inside inverted. Next to Cole Palmer who will play at the base, and it's going to show on the screen who's going to play at the base of midfield diamond. Then, of course, Malo Gusto will be on the right. Enzo Fernandez was on the left. Then you have Abrantia, your friend Nicolas Jackson at the tip. Then Chelsea will use the width of Noni Madueke and Pedro Neto. I think that in the first half, One of the things that Chelsea did very well was that for the very first time, Chelsea managed to control the game. The press, counter press, short pass, and when to go long when they win the ball back. And I think that it was climaxed by that goal about for Nicolas Jackson. Now, if you are talking about Nicolas Jackson, you are talking about a striker who in 3 games, one of them about just half the game, 130 full. He has scored 2 goals plus 1 assist. He has 3 goal involvements in there. And I mean, since the start of last season, no Nicolas Jackson, and has 16 goal involvement, 16 goals, 16 non-penalty goals. That's actually a statistic. 16 non-penalty goals. Oshe Obi say Bukayo Saka, any Rashford combination, almost 16. So it tells you the quality of Nicolas Jackson in terms of non-penalty goals. I was arguing in the first half, Chelsea dominated, Chelsea controlled the game, Chelsea played very, very well. And I like that tactical tweak from Enzo Maresca, using Kupama rather at the base of the diamond, having Malo Gusto on the right, making sure that you have Enzo Fernandez on the left, then having Nicolas Jackson at the apex of that diamond, then stretching the way to Pedro Neto and Noni Madueke up there. It gave Chelsea a lot of control in the first half. Of course, I think it was also a very good defensive display in the first half from Moises Caicedo, like I told you, in terms of build-up, counter-pressing and pressing. Edward Jordan, he did very well in that regard. Same for Levi Cole as well. He was very good in terms of breaking the lines on the back. Now, the importance of playing about a friend of Moises Caicedo in that area is that if Chelsea lose the ball from trying to build up from there, Caicedo now has enough energy because he has rested to counter-press. And then affords time for Wesley Fofana to push into the back 3 and then have Levi Cole also there. So it was a very, very good performance for them in that regard. Something that you give them a lot of plaudit for. It means that in 3 games, the first one at Chelsea Harbour in the Premier League before the international break ever, Chelsea Harbour 3 games, when you have 4 points, 1 win and then 1 draw, then 1 loss. And it tells you, if not for nothing, you can tell that Chelsea are progressing. They can manage games, they can control games. Yes, the Manchester City game was a game that Chelsea could have easily gotten a draw. But then against the champions that were coming home, a very difficult game to play at home against Manchester City. And you can tell from the players the quality of the game and how Obia a Pushia Biada in the first half, Noni Madueke had a very good chance to make it to even open the scoring to score on Wangasani goal. One shot. Same for Cole Palmer, got a very good chance to score. I don't think that today was a very good day for Cole Palmer, in my opinion, to score another goal. He also couldn't score that goal. And it tells you that the chances were there. Chelsea could create quality chances from there. Pedro Neto will whip up the crosses into the box. And the quality of the game in itself was there. The players seem to understand and they seem to be in tandem. The BSC will receive the ball. And it's also a clip na Enzo Maresca consistent no Kawasema, not all catch you be as it. Don't go after the ball will come to you. Calm down and wait for the ball. Ball never bow on him. You could tell clearly. And for me, I think that was a very good one. How Enzo Maresca 18 adjusted the press to make sure say he controls the game. Now, Oshe go at Chelsea in the 24th minute. It is down to 2 things. The ability of Levi Cole to read, see danger, step into the danger, and then turn the ball over. Now, because around that time, now Crystal Palace with DM Freddie Hughes, where a yellow card already in team. Once the ball was slid through to Abranti friend Noni Madueke, he couldn't go in for the tackle. But away from that, you also need to give credit to Abranti friend Noni Madueke to making sure that he uses space. The usage of space was very important. And for me, I've said it several times. Football, in attacking sense, is essentially about creating the space and then using it. And once the ball came, Onimse used the ball, so he placed it into space. And Onimse, so he used a committee, it's a red card. One committee, so he gets a chance. And again, that ball that Noni Madueke played into space pulled Abranti friend Mark Gay out of his zone. Then Chelsea now got into that area in a 3v4 because now there is Noni Madueke, there is Cole Palmer, there is Nicolas Jackson, and then there was also Pedro Neto that was lurking at the far post. So immediately Cole Palmer squared the ball back. Nicolas Jackson slotted it in, making it the first goal for Chelsea Football Club. The use of spatial awareness from Abranti friend Noni Madueke from outside. I think that in the second half, Noni Madueke had a lot of issue in terms of the ball retention, any idea from the right hand side, how to get a ball to stick, and then making sure when he's being closed down, the difficulties in the game. And these are things that the players will learn together. Chelsea bar second half. In the first half, generally, I went on to go and tweet both on Facebook, any Twitter said for me, it was the most controlled first half I met him. And again, the fact that Enzo Maresca could tweak the system, knowing that in the game against Wolves, Moise Caicedo was targeted and I'm pushing into the back four. I think it was brilliant. Again, my first half thoughts. So Osha, I think that Caicedo did very well, helped Cole in terms of breaking the lines. The directness in the counter attacks. See, a Caicedo also possible short interest. So when you counter attack, you play another 4 or 5 passes more. You go direct and then kill your opponent. I think that the counter press for me in the first half was better than the second half. The aggression, the backline jumping so far was a little bit good. Again, generally, Chelsea's out of possession was good. On the ball was good. The out of possession shape was also equally good, controlling the tempo very well. And so Obeka, immediately Chelsea came to the second half. Sorry, just the one time Chelsea could not control the tempo of the game in the second half. Then Crystal Palace, the ball shifts across comes in. Robert Sanchez calls to catch the ball, but then the defenders clear the lines. The ball now falls to Abrantia, a friend Ebrechi as a goal scene and then gets the job done. Kills that brilliant goal. I think that was an excellent goal from Abrantia friend Ebrechi as a very, very good goal in that regard. And I love the fact that he could control the game like that. He could play very, very well, manage the game. Not a bubble on the top corner. That was quality from Abrantia friend Ebrechi as a. I think that the only concern from Chelsea game, any of the results, in my opinion. I think that it's about the killers, the clinical finishing. And whilst say Osimhen and Chelsea about Nicolas Jackson to go, I think that Chelsea got chances to kill it off. Noni Madueke Bones and Koboshe, the bottom corner, is enough chance to kill it off. Cole Palmer essentially is a killer in the box, but again doesn't finish. In the second half, Chelsea, whilst they didn't really control the game in the second half, also got chances again. Nicolas Jackson gets the chance in the second half, needed to kill it off. I think that there were some different changes that could have been made, but overall, I think that Chelsea performance here, results are definitely going to come, and you could see it in how Chelsea perform. The decision now, again, English Premier League referees. So also Hughes, the foul on Cole Palmer in the second half was a second yellow card. Was a second yellow card, and these things we don't even need to talk about it several times. That ball was a second yellow card. It should be a red card, second yellow card for Hughes, and then a red card matching orders for him. But Chelsea doesn't do that. Ocean, in terms of XG, Chelsea had an XG of 2.2 or 4.2. They were able to reduce Crystal Palace to 0.36. They scored from a shot that shouldn't have probably scored, but of course from the brilliant technique from Abrantia, your friend Eberechi, and that is the quality of the game. You understand that these things are important. You need clinical finishes like that in areas where the XG is very low, but you have to do that. And again, unfortunately, 5% of matches BC, you don't win against Palace. Yeah, I think the Chelsea was better in the second half. To be very honest, I think that there were some different changes. I think Enzo Maresca beating, but all in all, I like the fact that Chelsea were able to control the game. In there, definitely Chelsea changed into a 2-2-5-1, and also it is because at the back now Chelsea now have also a game also at the tail end of the game. Interesting tactical shifts now. Chelsea had Levi Cole and Enzo Fernandez in build-up. Then they push Moise Caicedo up top. The reason is simple. Now or the Joao Felix, Ababeshime or Honam. These are players that receive the ball between the lines. Cole Palmer and Nkuku. Now these players also are sometimes susceptible to losing the ball like that, and Crystal Palace can counter attack you. So what he did was that to bring Caicedo next to them. Senebi as a ball could catch Felix in Sana quickly. Caicedo is quick to win and counter press and win the ball from them. Chelsea can use the ability of the technical players to score. Something that didn't necessarily help in terms of the defensive side, but attacking side really didn't give us the results that I wanted. And it was a simple shape of a 2-2-5-1, where Chelsea had two in there, two sitting in the middle of the park. It was Abrantia friend Moise Caicedo coming from the right hand side, who was supposed to be a fullback because he Malo goes to film, and a boy next to Cole Palmer in the middle of the park. Then up top here, you had Joao Felix, you had Mihailo Modric, you had Marco Correa also in the half space. Marco Correa also coming to the half space, having Jackson, and then keeping the weight from that area. I think that for me, that is something that I was expecting. That was something I was expecting. And you play in that zone. Malo Gusto getting injured. Chelsea going to a 2-2-5-1. How Chelsea managed to control the game in that regard. And again, like I said, if you look at the XGs, essentially the game came down to XGs and the fact that Chelsea had a chance to kill it off, but they couldn't do it because, of course, Osha box name and the chances did come. Chelsea should have finished off that game. They couldn't do that. But again, credits to Crystal Palace for putting in a very, very good shit bar as the game did wear on. I think that the chances to win it, of course, a few more poor winning in terms of decision making, 15 to 20 minutes over there. I think that I like the aggression. I like the general output. For me, I'm very happy with the general output of the game and how Chelsea played essentially in them. The Petty's defense today limited Crystal Palace over 0.36 in terms of XG. So, man, that is very, very good. Modric also did very well in this cameo again. I've said Modric would have to manage. You look at this game, he came on, he did very well. Sent in a good cross, played Nicolas Jackson through a ball that Nicolas Jackson should have finished and make it 2-1 in there, but that didn't come. And I think that Malo Gusto injury, did affect Chelsea also that he's over. I hope that, and yes, something really huge. But again, this is my post-match analysis. Chelsea versus Wolves, the last game for the international break. Yeah, Liverpool Man United game will bring you another conversation. Bye.